Hi, I am Izel, and I'm going to start with our first topic of our presentation, firm description. Our company based on one of coffee types, which is espresso, specialized on easily portable coffee machines actually. Portable coffee machines are bag type coffee machines that can make only one type of coffee, and we can carry it on our bags in daily life. Our company will start its production next year and aims to settle in 5% of the best known coffee shops in the market share. Since we keep the target so high in the first year, we will separate the shops by looking at customer satisfaction actually, determine the points suitable for the demand. And we know that the demand for different types of coffee is increasing nowadays for people of all ages. That's why using the right production techniques, we can turn different types of coffee into portable coffee machines over time. But for the beginning of our mission statement is to produce innovative portable espresso makers that meet customer expectations in Turkey to satisfy the coffee needs of the customer in an easy and cheap way. For our vision statement, the company's vision is becoming the largest portable espresso maker in global by offering customer-focused solutions that display customer satisfaction and a respectful profile that keeps customer and employee satisfaction on the front, of course. In our organization chart, main departments connected to our CEO, and every department has their own manager. CEO is the most authorized person after our general manager, of course.
Hello, my name is Diyar. Now I'm going to talk about the location selection. We have three different alternatives for the location of the facility, which are Gebze, Hadımköy, and Çorlu. We evaluated these alternatives by closeness to the market, logistics network, labor factor, and cost of facility rent cost. In addition to this, there are a few important factors, but we will not include them among our main parameters. As you see, we used factor location rating method for selection of the location. And our parameters are the market, logistic and network, cost, and labor factor. Here's the ratings, are between 1 and 5. As you see, we have measured the importance of each criteria. Then we evaluated the weighted rates score for every alternative. The final score is Gebze 375, Hadımköy is 380, and Çorlu is 350. Therefore, our preferred location is Hadımköy for the facility, and that's all for the location selection.
Hello, I'm Dolaras, and I will talk about product description. As you know, our product is a portable espresso machine. So the best thing about this product is you can go anywhere with this product and you can make your coffee anywhere and whenever you want. So with few presses to this button and adding some small amount of water to the water tank, your coffee will be ready in minutes. So as you can see from here, you can see the exploded view of our product. 5 main parts: cup, outlet head, filter basket, main body, and water tank.
And for me, I'm going to be starting to have explanation for the bill of materials beside the make or buy decisions for some parts. Dimensions, like as we can see here, the bill of materials schedule, which is show all the parts needed beside the part numbers and the quantity per part. Approximately, we are having about 23 to 24 pieces. As we can see on the make or buy decision, we are going to make 5 pieces, and most of them are stainless steel parts, and it's playing a big role on showing the quality of our products, and that's the main reason behind making them in our factories. The making procedure for most of the other parts, we take the decision based on the cost things. So buying these parts is going to be way cheaper than making them in our factories. we have found some resources which is gonna have better prices than making this in our factory. And most of it, it's like a plastic joint, or which is just similar to screw and some other parts, which is it's gonna be wasting for time and money of making them in our factory again. Assembly chart, as we can see here, the assembly chart contains 4 main parts and 3 subparts. The main parts, which is, as we can see, the name of them are A1, the cup, A2, the outer head, A3, the main body, and A4, the water tank. The subparts, which is the cap cover, which is SA1 underneath the cup, and SA2 for the outlet head, and SA3 for the main body, which is the piston. And the water tank, it stands alone as one part. And again, there are approximately like 24 pieces for all the assembly.
Hello. So after the assembly chart, we will have parameters related to productions, and by that, the market research. So according to our market research, the demand of portable espresso machines in Turkey is going to be 600,000 annually, and we assume to take a 20% market share of that. So we found our annual demand to be 120,000, and our factory will be operating in 235 days in 2020. So by calculating that, we found that our daily demand is going to be 510 units. For the takt time calculations, we took these as our parameters, and as an efficiency goal, 80% efficiency for our plan, and as a scrap rate, we took it at 4%. So the net daily production is going to be 600, and subtracting that scrap rate we will have a daily production target of 510, and after using the formulas, the takt time is going to be 0.626 minutes per unit.
Hello, I'm Deniz, and today I'm going to talk about process design. So here is the route sheet. You can see that the quantity is 600 because our mission is producing 600 products in a day. So we have 5 parts that we are making as a company. The first one is cup cover, and the second one is metal inner spot head. And the third one is metal spot hole, stainless steel substratum, and the last one is water tank. Actually, we have three processes that we are using: material die cutting machine, stretching machine, water shaping machine. They are just all for the products. But polishing machine, we are only using it for 2 parts, which are cup cover and water tank, since these parts are required to be polished. And here you can see some numbers in the pieces per hours column. How do we find it? Okay, we find these data by observing some similar procedures on YouTube videos. So we are giving some estimated values there. And here is the number of machines and employees needed part. You can see the machine requirement part over here. Here you can see all the parts that we are making and the machines that we required. These numbers you can see here. How do we find these numbers? For example, for the 0.1 minute for the cup cover, you can see that we need, this is per unit data. Could you please go 2 slides, please? Okay, we have divided 60 to 600 since the pieces per hour is 600. Okay, this is how we find these data, and the total for the minutes, we have just add them each other. And for the takt time, it was already calculated, and it's approximately 0.63. How do we find the machine needed? We divide the total to takt time, and we gain these numbers in the machine needed column. And for the final step, number of machine needed, we approximate these numbers to the upper level. And in the end, we find that the total number of machines which is required is 10. And here is the employee needed part. We have 47 hours to produce 1,000 pieces. 47 was already calculated before. And our efficiency rate is 80%. So we have approximately 38 hours available. How do we find it? We have multiply 47 with 80%. For 600 pieces, we approximately have 23 hours. Yeah. Then we divide this by 9.5 hours per employee per day, which equals almost 3 employees. So we can hire 3 employees as blue collar. Since we have 1 shift in a day and we have machines, we have 10 machines, we would have 5 blue collar employees maybe, since 3 could be a bit less. And it is also assumed that there are employees in the following departments as well. For the security, we need 1. Inspection, we need 1. Receiving and shipment, we need 2 employees. And services like cafeteria and cleaning, we have 3. And for the office, we have 7. In total, there will be 20 employees in our facility, excluding the people needed for transportation of the product.
Now, going to the assembly line. So here's the assembly chart for the working stations. So let's go first to the table to explain how did we get that 7 working stations. We got 5 main tasks to assembly our product. And here's the time standards for each procedures. First of all, we calculate the cycle time for assembly, which is 0.78 minutes. And after that, we calculated separately the station number for each task. For each workstation, which is when we get a number higher than 0.78 minutes, on this case, we need 2 more stations instead of 1. So for example, for A2 and A3 tasks, we got a number which is above 0.78. So it gives us 2 working stations for A2 and A3 tasks. And of course, we round it up, so we end up with 7 working stations. However, the idle time we calculated separately for each task, and we take the total number as approximately 2 minutes. Of course, the idle time is high, which has really affected our efficiency time, which is 53%, 0.86. And the reason behind this is the low number of the task number and the high number of the working stations. So going back to the assembly chart, here's the A1 and following up with the A21 and the A22, since as we mentioned, A2 need 2 working station, and then it's going up to A3 and A32, which is, as we mentioned also, it need more working station. And for A4 and A5, each one need only 1 working station, so we end up with 7 working stations. The flow of the working, it's going to be starting from A1 and going all the way to A2, and then A3, and then it ended up with A5. We can notice that we have already part storage like close to each station, so laborers doesn't need to waste any time with like movement to have and move and deliver the ready part storage. So that was all for the assembly line also. Thank you very much for listening.
And the other part is going to be flow analysis, which is similar with from to chart. Here you can see that we are giving some letters to the part, and all the procedures, all the routing actually, starting with receiving, which is R, and ends with shipment, which is symbolized with S. And exactly cutting, stretching, and shaping are all the same since we don't use polishing machine. And for the cup cover and water tank, you can see that we are using polishing. That's why the routing changed a bit. And for daily production quantity, it's always 600. For weighting, we are giving some estimated values as well. Why did I give 3.71 75 for ABC, and I give 9 for our for cup cover and water tank, because we are using polishing, so it is a bit complicated, we can say, and it is much more important. And here the total weight, we find it by multiplying daily production quantity with weight. And here is the total weight, as you can see. And relatively importance, we actually just get the shortening type of total weight. And in the chart, you can see that, for example, the left part is empty since we don't use it. For example, R to R, we don't have it, or A to R, we don't have it, but we have it R to A and A to B, B to C, C to D, and C to S for cutting, stretching, and shaping, and D to S. And here is the total value of them. And for the penalties, we are actually using the numbers which are just written there. So thank you for listening to me.
And for the operational charts calculations, at the previous part, we calculated the time standard, which is by dividing 60 on the time standards of each process. As we can see, here we have the processes and the parts that we are going to work on. And here for 1,000 products or 1,000 units for each, here are the calculations, and we get that by using the time standard and multiplying that with the 1,000 and dividing that by 60 to convert that the time in hours. And here is our operational chart, much clearly here. So here we have the part names on top, and here our processes names, and operation number for each one. And on top we will have pieces per hour, and here hours per 1,000 units. And here we have the parts that are going to be outsourced, and the assembly names. So each part are going to be assembled. We have mainly 5 assemblies, as you can see here. And the final, as in the final of these calculations, we found that we will need 46.21 hours to produce 1,000 units. And thank you.
For our activity relationship diagram, we decided to compare 16 main areas in our factory. There are 9 A's, which means absolutely necessary factors, and 7 E's, especially important factors, in our diagram. You can see better in activity worksheet part. Using this activity worksheet part, we created a block diagram showing our departments, actually like this. And to show our departure map, we used craft algorithm and showed our roadmap on the dimensionless block diagram like this.
So now we have workstation design space requirements. First one is stretching. We have only one stretching machine, so we gave 6 square meter place to stretching. For shaping, we gave 30 square meters because we use 6 water shaping machines for this place. For polishing, we gave 15 square meters, and we have lots of assembly for these products. So we have 30 square meter for assembly line. Auxiliary services space requirements. First one is receiving and shipping. In receiving and shipping room, this room has an area of 30 square meters and 2 workers working in this area. One is for receiving and the other one is shipping. They are also doing bill of material, pro forma invoice, and preparing the forwarding papers will be done in this room. Our daily demand is, as you can see from the presentation, is 600 pieces. Dimensions of our product is the highest 198 millimeters. the width is 66 millimeters, and the weight is 336 grams. The other one is stores. In order to start manufacturing, we are holding our outsourced items in a specific area. That's why our manufacturing starts without delay. Our manufacturing starts without a delay because of the storage area. You can see the picture of the storage area right here, and you can see the dimension, 50 square meters. The other one is warehouses. We have a JIT approach, but in order to compensate demand functions, we are over manufacturing. The dimension is 15 to 4 meters, so it's equal to 60 square meters. You can see the warehouse area here. The other one is maintenance room. In the maintenance room, as you can see from the picture, we have technical equipments, toolkits. Why are we using this? Because we are using these kits and the equipments because in order to repair our machines, making the daily routines, weekly routines, monthly routines, and repair them, or if it's need to go to the service, we are using these parts and these kits. To prevent the stoppage of the manufacturing line, this room is created. There is no assigned worker. Only the qualified, experienced employees use this room in order to repair their machines. You can see the dimensions 4.5 to 5 meters is equal to 22.5 square meters. So we have utilities, heating, and air conditions. So every room needs an air condition, a heating, or some other equipment. So for office, we use tables, printers, computers. Restrooms, we use conditions, and also we use, as you can see, air condition, especially in the every room. Also, we use tables for the maintenance rooms, main office, and the shipping area, generally in the most of the rooms. And also we use conveyors for fabrication area, water dispensers in the area of the facility.
Now I'm going to talk about the employee services space requirements. I'm going to start with parking lots. The size of parking lot is directly proportional to the number of employees, location of the company, and availability of public transportation. According to these factors, we gave 1 parking space to 2 employees and created 10 parking lots. Also, we needed a space for visitors and we gave them 2 parking lots. So we have 12 parking lots in total. 2 of our parking lots are for disabled drivers. Another important factor for parking lots is the size of lot. 6 meters length, 3 meters wide for each parking lot. It means 18 square meters for each car. We based on large car measurements. And the next one is employee entrances. Employee entrance affects the placement of parking, the locker room, time card racks, restrooms, and cafeterias. The size depends on the number of persons using the door, and it could measure from 3 feet to 6 feet with any aisle leading to plant. In the light of this information, we made our doors with a width of 1.5 meters, including our generators and security staff. They have at least 20 square meters of area for themselves. And the next one is locker room. Our locker room has a length of 4 meter and width of 15 meter totally. We divided the area for male and female workers and placed different showering cabins and dressing cabins for each gender. And the next one is restrooms. The number of toilets depends on the number of employees. The local codes may dictate the number. The number of wash basins is usually equal to number of toilets. The size of restroom is 15 square feet per toilet. Wash basins and entryway and 9 square feet for urinals. We gave 15 square meter area for male restroom, 15 square meter for the female restroom. The toilet cabins have 2 meters of width and 7 meters of length. And the next one is coffee and lunch rooms. We have total 20 employees, so we can give the whole meal in a one period. The width of our lunchroom is 4 meters and the length is 25 meters. Totally 100 square meter in total for our lunchroom. And the next one is the medical room. Our medical room has a width of 4.5 meters and the length of 3.5 meters. We did not hire nurse or doctor because of the number of employees in small quantities. As you see, our material handling equipment, we have receiving and shipping departments in our equipment, fabrication department, assembly department, and packaging department. We are using different equipments, for example, conveyors and forklifts. These are the examples. And here's our office layout. Our main office has an area of 75 square meter, and 7 people is working in the main office. So there are 7 desks, a meeting table, a printer, extra desk for interns, special and separate rooms for CEO and general manager in the main office. And our facility layout looks like this. As I have mentioned before, you can see the general view of our facility on this page. We have placed all the areas in this facility. We have 2 different running entries, one for our office workers and one for our workers. This is how it looks. That's all about our facility. Thank you for the listening. That's all. Thank you.